We're going to talk about the legislative branch, Article 1 of the Constitution, which talks about Congress. What I want you to know from this video is that the Founding Fathers felt that the legislative branch was the most important branch. Remember, we are coming out of the Articles of Confederation where that was the only branch of government that they actually created. We didn't have an executive and we didn't have a national judiciary. All the states had a judicial branch, but the national government did not have one. So under the Articles of Confederation, we already had a legislative branch, but it was a unicameral legislature. And so the Founding Fathers put this article first in the Constitution, and when we look at the Constitution, we're going to notice that it is quite a bit longer than anything they wrote about the executive or the judicial branch. So Article 1 of the Constitution is about the legislative branch, and a legislative branch is the lawmaking branch of a government, and we call ours Congress, and it is a bicameral Congress. And once again, most important, they put it first, and they write more about the legislative branch than any other branch, once again, because it was already established. We already had one under the Articles of Confederation. We are coming out of a unicameral legislature where all the states had one vote under the Articles of Confederation. And you had the Virginia Plan and the New Jersey Plan during the Constitutional Convention. Virginia wanted it based on population. New Jersey says absolutely not. We already have an equal vote in the legislature that we already created, so they want to maintain that equal representation. Connecticut Compromise, we end up with a House of Representatives, which makes the larger states happy, and we get that from the Virginia Plan, so that is based on population. And then the smaller states are made happy by creating the Senate, which every state gets 2 votes in the Senate. And that's one of the things that cannot be amended in the Constitution. Article 5 is about the amending process, and in Article 5, the last thing it says is that no state can have its equal suffrage in the Senate taken away, and that once again goes back to the fact that we fought a Revolutionary War over representation, so we're never going to allow the Constitution to be amended to take away that equal representation in the Senate. Terms and sessions of Congress. The House of Representatives serves for a 2-year term. So we have elections every 2 years for members of the House of Representatives. So that's why a term of Congress is 2 years long, because theoretically we could have all of the members in the House of Representatives voted out of office. So that first term started March 1789 and ran to 1791. This is something that you guys are going to have to look up because it's going to change every 2 years. So they are numbered consecutively. So if you do the math from that first Congress to today, with every 2 years starting a new term, the 115th Congress started on January 3rd of 2017. So the next Congress will start January 3rd, 2019, then the next one, 2021. So every 2 years we have a new term of Congress. All the members who are newly elected will have to be sworn in when the new term starts. So the Constitution in that 2-year long period of time requires Congress to meet sometime in each one of those years. So they can't meet just a couple of months, January, February, March, and then go home and then not come back at all the following year. They are required to meet for some period of time during each one of the years of the term. So the term is the 2 years. A session will start in January. They'll end that session in December, and they'll start the next session the following January. Right now, there are no term limits as far as members of the House and Senate. They can run and be reelected as many times as they possibly can. So there aren't any term limits on the number of times that they can run, which do not get that confused with a term of Congress. So right now we are getting ready to end the 115th Congress, probably in in December. We're getting ready to have elections in November. Those new members and everyone will be resworn in January.